Manhattan Judge Arthor Engoron pushed Alan Weisselberg to provide clear and direct answers to some important questions. The focus of the discussion revolved around a document called the Rep Letter, which Weisselberg had signed in 2017. This letter confirmed the accuracy of the financial statements for the Trump Organization in 2016. The main point of contention related to the valuation of Trump's triplex, which was based on the reported size of 30,000 square feet. As the investigation unfolded, Attorney Solomon raised concerns about Weisselberg signing the Rep Letter, days after an email from Trump Organization employee Amanda Miller came to light. This email suggested that, according to Alan W., there were no changes made to the square footage of the Trump Tower triplex. However, Weisselberg's initial response was vague and unhelpful, prompting Judge Engoron to intervene. In a frustrated tone, Engoron abruptly interrupted Weisselberg's response and firmly warned him, "Don't give speeches. Just stick to answering the question." It was clear that the judge was determined to keep the proceedings focused and clear. This intense exchange caught everyone's attention when Weisselberg admitted that he had never bothered to check the spreadsheet or the information before signing the Rep Letter. This revelation was significant because the letter explicitly stated that there were no events after June 30, 2016. That required adjustments or disclosure in the personal financial statements. Despite Forbes notifying the Trump Organization in September that the actual square footage of the triplex was significantly less at 10,996 square feet, Weisselberg admitted that he was comfortable signing the Rep Letter. The significance of Weisselberg's responses is really important, because they could have a big impact on the ongoing investigation into the Trump Organization's finances. When it comes to these kinds of investigations, it's crucial that financial statements are accurate, especially when it comes to valuing assets. Legal experts are saying that Weisselberg's admission of not verifying the information before signing the Rep Letter could raise some serious questions about how diligent and accurate the Trump Organization's financial reporting really is. It's also worth noting that his willingness to sign the letter even though he knew about the Forbes report might be seen as a lack of transparency. This New York civil investigation of the Trump Organization has been quite a spectacle, with lots of subpoenas and requests for information from different parties involved. People have been keeping a close eye on it since the very beginning. The investigation, being led by the New York Attorney General's office, has been getting a lot of attention because it could have major implications for former President Donald Trump and his business empire. As the investigation unfolds, Judge Engoron's focus on getting clear and direct answers reminds us how important clarity and transparency are in big legal proceedings like this. The testimony from Weisselberg will definitely have a significant impact on the outcome of this high-profile case. Recently, Donald Trump, the former president, has found himself in a high-stakes legal battle as federal prosecutors express concerns about a case involving election subversion. In a court filing on October 10, 2023, Special Counsel Jack Smith's office revealed a worrisome development. There's been some talk that 25 key witnesses in the case have been using attorney-client privilege as an excuse not to spill the beans. And these witnesses are no joke. We've got co-conspirators, former campaign employees, the whole deal. It's crazy to think that all these important people might be holding back crucial information. Oh, and get this, not only are they claiming attorney-client privilege, but it also includes a family member of the defendant. Can you believe it? Anyway, we're not sure how investigators are dealing with this whole privilege thing, but the special counsel wants the judge to force Trump to come clean about whether he was just following his lawyer's advice. The declaration could potentially expose Trump's defense strategy and lead to further examination of his communications with his legal team. Trump's defense team had previously hinted at using this defense, pointing to media interviews where they claimed his actions were guided by legal advice, including from. It's worth mentioning that Eastman and other attorneys who worked with Trump previously faced charges in a separate election subversion case in Georgia. The federal case, however, is focused solely on the former president, who pleaded not guilty. Recognizing the case's sensitivity and public interest, as well as Trump's history of using social media to attack his adversaries, prosecutors sought special protections for prospective jurors when the trial begins next year. During discussions, they shared their worries about Trump's social media posts, which they saw as attempts to intimidate people involved in legal proceedings. They brought up a recent incident where Trump criticized a court clerk on social media during his civil trial in New York. They argued that this raised concerns about him potentially using social media to research prospective jurors and influence the case. Not only that, They also mentioned that threats had been made by Trump's supporters against those involved in his legal issues, including the court and grand jurors in Fulton County, Georgia, who returned an indictment. To address these concerns, the special counsel's office requested that potential jurors be sent a questionnaire in the weeks prior to the trial. This would allow both sides to screen individuals before the jury selection process began. Special counsel Jack Smith has taken a precautionary measure to ensure a fair and unbiased trial in the 2020 election case against former President Donald Trump. Smith has requested a judge to protect jurors from potential intimidation through social media by the ex-president. To streamline the jury selection process, Smith's prosecutors have proposed using a written questionnaire before in-person selection. This is considered important due to the high-profile nature of the defendant, which could present challenges. The prosecutors are also urging the judge to establish reasonable boundaries for conducting jury selection, which includes maintaining the anonymity of potential and selected jurors. Trump, however, has voiced his opposition to Smith's motion. The prosecutors explained that they made the request because Trump has a tendency to publicly criticize and attack prosecutors, court officials, and others involved in his cases. They specifically mentioned how Trump often uses his social media platform, Truth Social, to berate his targets with insults and criticisms. As an example, they pointed to a recent incident in which a New York judge issued a gag order against Trump after he targeted the judge's principal clerk on the platform. The prosecutors argued that, given the expected public attention and Trump's history of using social media in an intimidating manner, the court should take several standard measures to protect the jury. Trump has sure taken a lot of jabs at New York Supreme Court Justice Arthor Engoron. He's been calling him a radical left and highly political judge, and even saying his decisions are like a horror show. But things got even messier when Trump went ahead and posted a photo of Engoron's clerk, Allison Greenfield, and linked to her Instagram account. And get this, he baselessly claimed she's dating Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. No wonder there's a gag order